All right. Thanks for joining me on this random late live stream. Checking Blue Sky real quick because I see some people are commenting. I don't know if anyone's actually here on the live stream itself, but thanks. I was a little bit late because I literally just unboxed one of my Raspberry Pi 5s that had been sitting on my bench for a different project, and I'm like, forget it. I just want to do this. I want to see how the PDS runs, and so let's do it. Let's go ahead and host it somewhere that we think, at least I think I can get it running. I did run through at least the installer script and saw that it does support Ubuntu and Debian, and Raspbian is Debian based. So all of that should work. Although you can see the screen behind me, it's trying to boot right now and it's not working because this is also the first time I've ever tried running this on a NVMe drive. So we are going to try this again, and we're going to do it to USB Gen 3. Let's see. Yes. So we're going to flash. I don't know. The computer looks like it's slowing down trying to do too much. Okay. So yeah, so we're going to try to flash this to a USB drive. I don't think I have any more SD cards. At least nothing big enough. Oh, I do have a 512. I don't know what's on that. So I could check it and we can see, but I did try flashing it on an NVMe stick directly from the Raspberry Pi installer. I didn't DD it or anything. I just said, let's just flash it. And as you see behind me, it's not actually booting. It says it's trying to open the NVMe drive and it just loops. It's not getting anything. So we're going to try to do this from preparing to write. Why are you not writing? I don't think it prompted me for a password, so I don't think that's going to work yet. Hold on a sec. Let's pull in my screen here. What's that layout? Is this one better? Maybe a little better. Trying to cancel this right. It's not going for me. So, because I literally I just unboxed it and plugged it in. I screwed on the heatsink and the hat for, there it goes. That's what I was waiting for. All right, now we should be able to write. Now that I said I would cancel it, there we go. It canceled and then it went. Yes. Let's see if it goes. If anyone's watching this in chat, FYI, I'm probably going to turn this into a regular YouTube video. So this might take an hour or more to get this thing running. If you don't want to do that, feel free to find the standard video that I might chop this up or edit a different one depending on how I feel. But yeah, we can get started. I do know that I'm going to need a way to push or at least expose the Raspberry Pi to the open internets, and I can do that, I believe, just with port forwarding. I gotta double check that nothing's using 80 and 443 on my network real fast. I don't think I have those publicly accessible, but let's double check. I am using a Eero, the startup Amazon bots. Let's see, firewall rules. Those are IPv6. Where is? Okay, so I'm gonna set a reservation. Oh, is it plugged in? It's not actually on my network yet because it won't boot, even though it is powered on. I gotta wait for the OS to boot before I can give it a IP address reservation. So thanks, Ben. Yeah, that's what I was assuming, either port forwarding or Cloudflare tunnel. I was actually going to go, originally I was thinking of doing the Tailscale funnel, but that's only HTTP. I don't think that's layer 2. And so they would terminate and give me a domain, and I don't really want their domain. I'm going to set up my own domain forwarding because this goes off of your tailnets domain. So yeah, you'll get your tailnet domain here, and I don't want that for an account, so I'm not going to use that. But yeah, I was thinking Cloudflare tunnels, but I'm just going to do this with just straight DNS and port forwarding once I get the OS to go. Yes, am I serving? It's always a thing to check. Sometimes I forget I did something a while ago. Lately, I've been doing so much with just tunnels anyway that I rarely ever open ports directly. But in this case, I actually want to show someone what it would be like to run this directly from your house. Cloudflare would be the best bet to kind of make it more secure, because Cloudflare also will protect against DDoS and whatnot. But in any case, I'm going to try this as straightforward as possible, if that's a thing on the internet. Also, the most risky. Absolutely, it's let's expose my public IP address to the world. Not always the thing you want to do on a Saturday night. But this USB is going to take freaking forever. I might check this. I'm going to do a backup right now and just see if this other SD card has anything on it. Because if that USB fails to boot, I know the Pis for some reason prefer, or if that USB fails, this micro SD is just always the preferred option. So let's see what we got. We have a lot of things right now. I think that looks like it's a Talos installation. And I am fine blowing that away. That would be this one. Looks like it's just a straight EXT. Where's it mounted? What are you? Oh, it's a backup. Okay. Oh, I brought this on a trip. That's right. I had movies for, it was my camera backup and movies for the airplane. Okay. I can blow that away if I need to. Run a handful of things with Port4. Yeah, I mean, like I've done it plenty in the past. Like for small stuff, it's always just like so easy. You're like, guess what? I'm already on the internet, and I know a lot of new ISPs will like natch you, so you can't be on the public internet anyway, which just really sucks. Like I feel bad for those people. They're like, oh yeah, you're on the internet. No, you're not actually. I'm not running Pop! OS. I'm running Project Bluefin. Is that one? Yeah, there he goes. This is Fedora Silverblue based. So it has this whole RPM OS tree for like updates. It feels like a more hackable Chrome OS is how I usually describe it. I really like Chrome OS. I wish that it was a thing that developers could actually use, because I love just the stable updates and only install packages in user space and not muddy all the rest of the system. And Silverblue did that for a lot of things, and Silverblue as like a generic Fedora release does that. Bluefin is like for developers. It's like, here you actually just get VS Code and Docker and a bunch of other stuff out of the box. And it like NVIDIA drivers are just there. It's so great. It's kind of like that Pop! OS feel of like, oh, this is more like an appliance. And there's been a bunch of other spins that are on top of this. Like Bluefin, the one I use is based on GNOME, which is, you know, this UI. They have Aurora one, which is KDE based, and a couple other ones. They're working on one for Cosmic when Cosmic comes out from Pop! OS. But yeah, no, definitely. I think I have their video still on here. Is it somewhere on? There it is. I made this video for them a while back. I've been a contributor for a little while, mostly docs and bug reports, but occasional small changes to things that I think would be helpful. So, and then just telling people about it is kind of what I like to do too. So I made their little intro video. But yes, check it out. It's fun. Oh, and I think YouTube doesn't let you type any URLs in chat anyway, so that probably didn't come through correctly. I'm really hoping that this slow write speed right now on this USB is not an indicator that the system is going to be horribly slow when I boot it. I don't know for sure if the hub that it's plugged into if it's even USB 3, so this might be getting like USB 2 speeds. The Pi for sure has USB 3, so hopefully that's better. Yeah, didn't link. I know. Hide the spam bots, which is weird. It's like if it's coming from my account, I would think that they would let me post a link. But no, why not? 85%. Okay. I'm gonna unplug this Pi behind me. Yeah, because I don't need it on, and then I can reboot it as soon as that's ready. And I forgot that all the Pi 4s and 5s all have the micro HDMI, which I was like, I always complained about Apple with dongles, and then I'm just out here doing the same thing on all my open hardware hackable Linux systems, and I'm like, ah, dang it, I need more dongles. We're almost there. We're almost there. One of my favorite things about Linux, or at least GNOME, is just this always on top, which I know Windows had plugins for it, and I just never. I don't know. It's just built in. I love it. So like I said, I was going through this docs earlier tonight, which is when I'm just like, I should just do this, especially when I saw like minimal, you need a gig of RAM in one core. I'm like, yeah, that's what a Pi 2 would still meet that. So I was like, I have a Pi 2. I don't probably want to run it from that. 20 gig SSD. And then ports. I do need to go. Let me log into Cloudflare, which is where my DNS is hosted. Unlock 1Password and all that jazz. Verify. I should skip that. Cancel verify. Oh, it's almost done. And I think I'm going to do this from one of my other domains, jgar.net, which has nothing on it right now. It's just like, I don't know why it gets traffic. Yeah, there's nothing there. So I can update some records here and point this to where I want. What do I have? Oh, that's right. I had some internal stuff. Okay, so this is my tailnet. I usually do a bunch of tailscale stuff. So there's like points to internal tailnet IPs for Homebridge, Omni, retro gaming, that kind of stuff. And I'm also going to use MailWhip. MailWhip is a remove. Okay. It's an email forwarding, which I've been using for years and years. I love it because it's just so dead simple. There's like nothing to it, and it has an SMTP endpoint for me, which is a little bit easier to use than Gmail. Okay, log into that. Pull this thing because I know I'm going to want that too. And so all this does is it like says, hey, if anyone emails anything at Jagar, send it to this email address. And I know Google had this for a very long time. And then I think they started making you pay for it for a little while. I have no idea if they still make you pay for it. But the service has been great for me. Okay, let's go plug this in and boot. I even have a network KVM to show you the screen while it's booting, and I didn't think to plug that in. So I'm just going to watch it. We'll see if it goes. I already got past the QR code and it's resizing the disk right now. So I know that's already working. Perfect. So these are all A records for, see, what is this one? This is a proxied. I don't know where that's going. Okay. I have no idea, but we're going to steal it. This is my public IP. We're not going to proxy that. and save. Oh. And I believe it was a wildcard, right? Yeah. Start example. And I wonder if that's going to go away. Okay. Don't proxy, save. Okay. So now both those are pointed at me. Yeah, and I was thinking about a PDS, like doing a PDS subdomain. If I'm planning on blowing this one away. Like I'm not going to keep the jagar.com account arounds. And for anyone that's curious about this, your name that you end up with can be a pointer to another DNS record. So the PDS subdomain isn't going to be the actual user. It doesn't have to be the actual user. Users get a subdomain under where I'm at, which is why I need the wildcard. Because if I'm going to be like Justin@jagar.net, that needs to point to wherever this PDS is running, and that's where that gets it. So it gets it from the wildcard. Anything that's not defined here, obviously, is going to go to the wildcard, which is my IP address. That's still resizing. That's not looking good for me for this is going to take a while. So I'm going to also start flashing this other device, this other SD card. What are my settings here? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. My camera blocks the login. Can't see myself typing, which is hard. Right. Yeah. Thanks, Ben. Because yeah, if you go to Bluesky, everyone's name is some subdomain at bsky.social or app, whatever it is, and then you can change that because that's a pointer to a PLC, a placeholder. I think it stands for something now, but it didn't used to. But it stands to like, it goes to like some canonical ID, and then you can actually point whatever domain to that ID. Oh man, this write is going so much faster already on this SD card. Why does USB still suck? If this write finishes before that disk expand works, I'm just turning that off. I just need to get an OS running. But at this point, I can already probably dig. And I can see that the wildcard's working. I get my IP address at something that didn't exist, just to verify. And then as soon as I'm ready, I can download the installer and run. And I was looking through this installer real quick, and I saw it uses Docker Compose. But like it looked like it used optional Docker Compose. Maybe I was because I saw the systemd unit did run Docker Compose. Yeah. Okay. So by default, it's going to run a Docker Compose up with everything in here, which I don't know why. I guess it needs to check that it can do a couple things. It's running. Is it putting Caddy inside the? It must be inside of Docker. So yeah, so it is doing Docker Compose by default things. Oh, and you run it without, like, it doesn't need Docker, especially on something like a self-contained Raspberry Pi. I could just have it own the box, right? It could just be the thing that it needs. But the default here is going to, it's obviously going to run on port 3000. You said it automatically does certificates? I don't remember. Oh, Caddy does, doesn't it? So I bet it's doing PS email. On-demand TLS right there. So I'm going to get TLS from Caddy. It looks like it's almost done. Where's my write? Oh, see, look at that. It's verifying 83%. I probably have a login here real quick. I think I named it PDS. I need to set a static IP reservation anyway. So let's see. Device count. Where are you? I do wish that Arrow's app, I still wish it had a web interface or an API or something. And I wish that I could filter things better because I'd have to like wait for them to show up. Because this is the first time I've ever booted that Raspberry Pi, it looks like it's doing a firmware update, of course. Ben, you said the Docker thing makes it own the box. Does it run with network privileges? I didn't actually look at the compose file. Storing data. That's the caddy, network mode host. So yeah, it's gonna want to. I mean, I guess that's dumb, right? If it's on 3000, I guess no, that's listening to 80 and 443. But this one also network mode host. In both those cases, is going to give it escalated privileges, which is something we don't need. So something that could be cleaned. Why is it? Oh, it's Watchtower for updates. That's so funny. Man, I used Watchtower so long ago. Watchtower is a container that'll watch for updates upstream and automatically update your containers. I used this thing forever ago. Yeah. So it's just you mount the Docker socket to it, and then it'll just always like it pulls the upstream registry and it sees, oh, is there an updated version of this container? But if am I doing latest? I am doing latest, aren't I? No, I'm doing 04. Okay, so whenever they tag a 04, so I'm not going to get a 05 unless I manually do something, because Watchtower is not going to go to point releases. It's going to stay on that tag. And I think I did see somewhere in here, where's the packages? 467 was just cut 4 days ago. It's only been downloaded 1,000 times, where I saw some of the older ones were like 30,000 or more downloads. There's 60,000 for whatever 432 was. Which I don't know, where's 60,000 of these things being pulled for? I mean, are that many people playing with it? That's kind of cool. Hey, GK, not a dumb question at all, because I was confused about this as well. Like, I'm not saying that like because I was confused, you're not dumb. No, it's not a dumb question. This isn't super clear. A PDS, it's called personal data storage or server, but it doesn't have to be a single user. It doesn't have to be one person doing it. I think they even say in here, like this one for these specs would be like 1 to 20 users, right? So you have 1 to 20 users with these minimal specs. And so Bluesky runs a bunch of these. I don't know how many, but originally when it started, when I joined, it was on one. They had one PDS that had tens of thousands of users on it. And then they migrated and sharded them and just started like picking people and like moving them to different PDS hosts. So they have different servers that other people are running on. It's like, oh, you're there with a party. There actually was for a little while a way to discover what users were on your PDS, and people were like, "Oh, this is my PDS party over here," and we're all just like randomly people that are on the same PDS. But you can run it yourself with minimal, resources required just to host it for you. You could host it for a few friends. You could host it for tens of thousands of people. You need bigger specs, more disk, all that sort of stuff. And that's what Bluesky does. But every user gets a subdomain is how they get identified. That is up now. Let's see. Let's find the IP. Yeah. Oh boy. Is this Wi-Fi? No, don't do Wi-Fi. Where's the wire? There's wired. Oh, that's a fancy IP address. I like that. 2168 dot, what did I say? 707.0. Sweet. I got a .0. That's kind of fun. Don't see that all the time. Okay. I saw the questions go by. Watchtower will restart the container, so it does kill it and restart it because it doesn't know if the application can be like sig hupped to reread configuration. All of your data is stored in a PDS. Actually, in on the host, it's mounted to like a ./data. If I look here in the compose file, it's in the container going to be ./data. On the host, it's going to be under PDS caddy data, and here it's just going to be PDS. So the data's safe, and it's just basically like restart the process, essentially. Let's go back into here and let's grab it. This is what I want to get to. While this is, I have a feeling it's going to take a little while because I know it needs to install some stuff. I'm going to set a reservation for that device. I'm going to try to name it. I see I already had a machine that semi-booted. So I need to rename it to settings. And this is going to be jgar.net. Is that still on screen? Can I move myself? I can go up there. There we go. Might be a little better. And this is PDS at jgar.net. And I did see config here. So I'm going to go back into MailWhip and I'm going to set up the SMTP user. Nope. PDS. And so now I will have a way to send email from this server. So MailWhip gives me this configuration that I can set my SMTP endpoints. It gives me a username and password I can log in with. And I don't want to show that, even though I can just recreate it. But let's let that finish while I add my reservation. Let's see. Where'd PDS go? PDS. We're going to name this PDS and we are going to open a port. Save the reservation. Call it HTTP. And then I need to open another port. HTTPS 443 TCP. Save. Okay, so now I have on my firewall 80 and 443 are being forwarded to this Raspberry Pi that's running. So whenever it starts up, and I have a static IP reservation, so if I reboot the box, it's not going to get a new IP address, and those ports will always fall forward in the right spot. It looks like I did join my Wi-Fi too. I forgot I configured that. All right. Oh, Ben, I was going to look into the documentation for migration. I heard that was a little bit more complicated than just setting up something from scratch. So I'm just setting this up from scratch just to see how it works. And then later on, I can maybe do a migration. I do want to make sure I have something that's a little more reliable and stable online so that because this Raspberry Pi, I'm sure I'm going to unplug it at some point. It'll be super easy and one command. I hope you're right. I believe you. I saw people telling me that it wasn't it wasn't as user friendly. I haven't read any docs on it, so if you've done it, I trust you. And JQ feels like it might as well be grep. Yeah, it's like back in the day, everything was plain text, and now everything's JSON. So that makes sense. I think it's interesting how many JQ variants there are. It's like there's one for I have one for interactive, I have one for YAML. I know there's a couple that will like do all of it, and then I never remember all the flags. So there's a command to transfer this to the NVMe. Oh, you know what? I know what I need to do. I need to set my. No, I tried to boot from NVMe. I saw there's a Raspberry Pi command to transfer an install to an NVMe drive, and so that's probably what I need to do. I tried to flash the NVMe drive directly, and it didn't boot, so I must have missed something. Yeah, GK. That's what when you have the PDS, it it still can be crawled by the actual like not the app view. What's the piece that's it's not called a crawler. I'm blanking on it now because it's already almost 11 o'clock. The component of Bluesky will still crawl all the PDSs, whether Bluesky owns them or not. You have to announce it to them and say, hey, I'm a PDS over here. Please get the data from me. And the cool thing about that is also but the app view is the top piece. There's a thing in the middle, right? There's a thing that's app view is like what we log into and what we see, and there's the fire hose where everything goes into it, and there's a crawler somewhere in there that's crawling all the PDSs. You tell Bluesky, hey, I'm a PDS. Here's my data, and then on your PDS, you can have multiple applications, which are chunked out by these. What do they call them? Blanking all these words now. Not schematics. They're called something else. Lexicons. That's what they're called. So we go to appproto.com and the lexicon. So like Bluesky's and say, oh, I only care about certain types of data. And those types of data is what I'm going to look at for Bluesky as the micro blogging thing. But people have already started writing like long form blogging on top of it. So if they have like posts that are not posts on Bluesky, they are different, right? And so you can get all of these lexicons, and each application will crawl just the data that it cares about. So if someone made a TikTok version of on top of that proto, it's just looking at the lexicons for those videos or whatever it is. And this is like, it's kind of similar to what Mastodon does in that Mastodon has there's the activity pub, which has different schematics inside of activity pub, and like Mastodon isn't straight activity pub. Mastodon is like activity pub with a bunch of stuff that it cares about, and all the pixel fed and the other things are all like different schematics, and that's similar to what App Protocol does with lexicons. Is just like, oh, you only care about this data, just crawl that data. In the Mastodon activity pub world, they all have to send the right data back and forth because all servers are connected to all other servers. In activity pub, all servers don't know, they don't care about, like, Ben, I don't know where your PDS is. I don't care. If we talk together on Bluesky, there's nothing that our two PDS servers have to know about each other because we go through the app server. Yay, IP tables. If there's a 0-day bug in in Raspbian right now, please don't come after me. Oh. I'll have to do a full app update and upgrade after this. Set up automatic patching. There's the Docker daemon. So if we just go over here. Not there yet. I have a Docker me. That's what it is. I can never freaking remember this commit. You've been using Docker for forever. We'll never remember it. There you go. Wait, did I get extra? No, there we go. Yeah, I look it up every time, and then one day I was just like, oh, I need to just set an alias, and then I always forget the alias, so I have to like Docker tab, like, what was it again? And of course, on this terminal, it's not going to matter because I have to log out, log back in. But over here, I can. There we go. Create a directory, caddy config, default targets. Yeah, GK, if you go to my I made a quick video of like how I would explain what Bluesky does, as everyone is their own website. I saw Paul tweet that every user is a website, and I'm like, that's it. That's the thing that to me made it make more sense to be able to explain it. It's like, if you were your own website, what would you do? Dang it, what failed? Is the registry down? It can't pull? What? Maybe that's why it was taking a while. Thanks. Yeah, I just started doing it, and it's been fun. It's just like, how would I explain this? In doing it in 1 minute has been even more more of a constraint. Makes it I have to really be clear about what I'm saying and what I'm not saying. Okay, so something's not working here. That sucks. Is there a PDS somewhere else? Let's see. Let me see if I can run anything. I have these. Let me see if I can run this. Oh, there it goes. Now it's running. That took forever. What? Oh boy. Maybe it's timing out because it just is so freaking slow on the USB. That's got to be it. Oh, I don't want to boot another system. Let's see. But if I copy it all to the they have a I wonder why my NVMe didn't work. There we go. What is this? They have a USB boot. It's not installed. I saw this in the GUI. Okay, this is gonna suck. Did that SD card finished writing? I could redo it. The IP address will stay the same. The host name should stay the same. Why is USB so slow? Why? Yeah. And now my key is going to change. No. Oh, it has to expand again. Oh, I knew this would take a while. That's all right. Ben, is there a way to do like the installer script is just Docker by default? Are you just like, I mean, I guess you can just run it. Service. I can even just go look at the Docker file and see what it does. All right. Somewhere in there. It's got to be easy. Just run these commands. Wow, they even have labels. Like never see people do that. They're like back in the day. I remember early Docker days. It was like a big push to make everyone put labels in their container in their Docker files so you could query it. We did it for ECS would use them, but I never really saw anyone else do it. Yeah, I don't have a USB cable. It's just like plug straight into USB 3. We thought they'd be easy. It's very true. Like, you know what? That's why I jumped on this live stream. Like, you know, this will be easy. I'll be done in no time. It's been an hour. Oh, but that's already up. Cool. Okay. We're back, and this should be faster this time. Wait, let me get... Oh, the user group doesn't exist yet. That's right. How many story points? I'd say this is a medium shirt, medium t-shirt. I don't know. What do I say? PDS. I'm going to sit down though. There we go. Hopefully I don't have to walk back to that monitor anymore. Oh, this is already way faster. Look at that go. I wish I got the NVMe drive working. That would have been even better. Jeez. What did I say? I should really just have that like copy. No, because I do it locally sometimes. Man, it's amazing what you can do when your disk can write. Create a user count. Yes, wait, let's double check. Successful service. This is just telling me what to do. Required entries. I already got it. What you could fill that out for me in the bash script. This is just a template. I should PR that. What? Detected IP of the server's IP. Huh. Yeah. Enter Justin at Linux. Enter handle. What? Error reserved handle. I guess that didn't work. Okay. What's the next step here? I think I just need PDS admin account create. Okay. Since that didn't work, let's try to do this again. Okay. Now I log in with that. So if I open a new Bluesky, please no one do this. Sign in, and I can point this to mine, jgar.net. I think, right? This is so far, I think. Username is unable to connect. So that's not a good sign. Okay. Is my port forward working? I should be able to. There was a test in here. WebSockets. Here. Health. So I should be able to do this from outside. So if someone does someone outside my network should be able to do that. Does that work? Port forwarding is working. Thanks, Ben. But why do you say you're not working? Okay, cool. Jgar.net. Done. Unable to contact your service. Oh, he remembers. So why would that say it can't connect to it? And that's even with HTTPS, because Caddy gave me the cert. If I go into PDS, and then I do pose. There's a logs from. So I see you all getting it. So if I do a follow, does it attempt? Retry. No. Because I should see that hit the logs. Like I should see the caddy or something. Whoa. There we go. Maybe that was just me. Is my LAN resolving? What do you mean, Ben? I don't like on my LAN. I don't have any. I can't ping it. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Wait, but is it? I guess it does authenticate from my browser. But if I dig jgar.net, localhost. Oh, look at that. That's me. That's me testing stuff with that domain. That's my fault. Where's my... Oh, shoot. Now did I lose my password? Where'd it go? Someone scroll back in the stream. Let's see. There you go. Retry. Next. Hey, go. Yes. Not right now. Sure. No. We did it. Now, if is it automatically discoverable though? Justin. Interesting. I'm like trying to find my user isn't there yet in Bluesky. But if that was the other thing I wanted to check out. If this is my profile, then this should be, does that work? Okay. So I can get to it there, but I can't search for you. I'm sure there's indexing and whatnot that needs to happen. So yeah, exactly. I would not imagine that they're immediately indexing every PDS that pops up. So now this is really boring. It's like, well, like the hard part was the Raspberry Pi. That's not supposed to be. So what is, let me get PDS admin. Okay. Reset password. Hey, that's cool. List, delete. That's it. Okay. What? You serious? You don't have dig installed? DNS utils? Did I get on first? No, that's not it. It's not dig. Is it DNS utils all one word? That's it. Stupid. I was gonna get, I was close. I was close. Okay. And now the only, well, at this point, all I would have to do to set up, did I close it? That was dumb. No, I moved it. Here it is. Okay. So at this point, what would I have to do to change this to Jagar is just the DNS settings. Change handle. Oh, I have my own domain. There we go. Oh, no, shoot. I have my own. Copy value. Okay. Go back into here. Add a record, another text. Save. Verify. At proto. Go. I'll wait for it to propagate. Oh yeah, GK, what was the problem? On my local computer. So when I tried to log in, my local computer couldn't actually resolve the endpoint. Actually, well, this is from here. This is my computer, and when I was doing dig jgar.net, I was getting 127 because I had hard coded. I was doing something, who knows when, in my Etsy host file. So if I had it here, I had it set as 127 to be my local computer. So when my browser was looking up and saying, "Hey, where's jgar.net?" Oh, shoot. It was trying to get to the local computer, not the Raspberry Pi that's sitting behind me. So my browser was like, "There's nothing there. I can't log in." Yeah, that's what the problem was. Verify. If I would have logged in from any other computer in my network, or even from the Raspberry Pi itself, we would have been fine. But my computer had other things that I was doing. So again, who knows when I was testing this, doing something on it. What's the other command? Doug. We're getting there. North America is 100%. I think their servers are in North America. Is that going from my computer? I don't know. Yeah, I do need to change the password. Where was the sudo ps admin reset password? Oh, list PDS admin list not found. List account list. Thank you. And then this is account. Ah, damn it. What do you like? Okay, wait. Let me save this. Verify. Let me log out somewhere. I don't know how. It's new incognito. Sign in. So now this flow is all going to be the same. Custom. Boom. All right now. That's just so easy now. How I ran like 4 different Mastodon servers in the past. I did so much work for that. Man, this still didn't work though. Let's go back to this. Is that right? Edit. Why are there supposed to be quotes on it? It adds the quotes. Yeah, they go back. That ain't me. Text record. I literally I don't get it. What am I doing wrong? Yeah, I'll fix that later. Whatever. But what else do I even do? Like this, it's just so easy now. It's just, oh, I could set up, well, I don't even care. Like I could set up the email forwarding if I actually get an email. There it goes. It's like, where'd your terminal go? If I go into, I probably don't want to show the PDS env, do I? I'm going to edit that off screen. No Vim install, damn it. App install Vim. Yes, of course. Oh, request crawl. That's right. Because okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that once I get this going. No. Edit. So the other thing I need to do is I was looking in the pull requests here. There was one for SMTP docs. This is how we do it. So I just need to set these in here. Is my email already in there? I don't see it. Which is weird because I was prompted for it. Okay, and then for me, this is not that. Where did that other one go? Okay, so mail whip will give me the endpoints. 587. I got to do username. What is it? Is it colon? Yeah. And then I got to show that password. This is all off screen, so I can put this password in. There's another colon, right? No, it's that, right? Duh. And then okay, so I think I have that set up, and now in here I can restart the service. I don't know how to, is there a way to send a test email? That'd be cool. Oh, good call. Did I do that? Nope, I had S. And now we restart again. Is it doing the text verification in app? What do you mean in app? In the browser? That still didn't work. No, change password. Where is that? Verify my email. See, but this is like I set that because that's my user email. That's not the PDS admin email. Where was you said there's a PDS admin request crawl? Where is that? Who's scrolling back through here? Comments there. So how do I do the request crawl? That's hard to say. Oh, there it is. From a relay host. Oh, so that's there. So now what happens? Okay, done. All right. What happens if when I'm assuming they're okay with backoffs when this goes down, right? Like when this server's not online, not available, like it's trying to crawl, but it's probably not going to try forever. Right? At some point, it might go away and it stops. How do I uncrawl me, right? If I move it to a different IP address. I guess always DNS. I'm just trying to think through it myself. So now information I set, I create here in the local app will be crawled by the rest of the network. There's a at proto CLI, and I could log in locally, right? 2E Sky, that's the thing. Is this the one? Let's see. Ooh, that's not gonna work. I was gonna try to do something localhost. There was another one. Pico file. Nope. Bluesky CLI. Is this the one I was thinking of? No, I don't want to do that either. I was thinking it might be fun, but I don't really want to right now. But I have a user. So next thing I need to do, there's a telnet client. Get out. No, there's not. Please tell me there's not actually a telnet client. The only other thing I would want to do is now figure out how to like migrate. I need to figure out why my DNS isn't resolving. If I look at, this is my accounts, and I probably haven't been crawled yet. And then I could I don't like that they disconnect. I don't know why they run it that way. I don't know why they don't just run it with everything in the foreground, because then if I want to get actual logs from it, I got to go into the PDS directory and follow. Almost stream. Which is fine, but I would like it if it was just in journal. That shouldn't matter for... That's me. That's me hitting. That's my browser hitting it for sure. All right. Anyway, just fun. Fun to mess around, figure it out. But I was hoping this would have taken longer. Thanks. You know, because all these other things seem to take just so much longer, and this was fine. Why did that not go back? There we go. But yeah, I'm gonna figure out getting an NVMe drive booting on the Raspberry Pi so it's faster and I don't have to just burn out another SD card. And I need to figure out the TLS, or not TLS, the DNS verification. I don't know why that didn't work, but I can keep trying. I mean, maybe it's just wait a little while longer. Ben, like you said, it's already resolving for you. But for some reason in the web app, it's not. And then the other thing I need to read is documentation on how to migrate my account. If I migrate my account, I'll put it on there. That's actually neat because it's just a user, it's just a PLC. And then I log into my instance. What happens to my old account? When you migrate, does it do like the whole pointer thing that Mastodon does if like you migrate servers? Because if I'm migrating all my data, do I take my ID with me and I say my ID is now at a new server? That's a question I have. I'm sure that's in the app proto docs, but that's something that I don't know on a migration what happens. I also don't know. I didn't save this password anywhere. Yeah, but I reset it like 3 times. So yeah, your DID is unique in that doesn't move with you, or does it if I'm migrating my data? That's the question I have is if I no, because that wouldn't work. I have to create a user, migrate the data to the user on my local PDS, and then I'd have to somehow tell Bluesky that my user is no longer there. That's not my user anymore. I guess by changing my handle, maybe. I don't know. Something to look at. But thanks everyone for jumping on. This is just over an hour, and again, like 40 minutes of that was getting the Raspberry Pi to work. So beyond that, yeah, I'll make another video. This will be a lot easier once I actually get Raspberry Pi with NVMe working. It'll be way faster and easy to do. But yeah, thanks. I'll see you all on Bluesky.